Welcome to Kiki and Kibbitz. It's Mary, and I'm here today with a very special interview. Welcome, Lindsey Downs. And we're welcoming her back again because we interviewed her at the end of her last season. But Lindsey is back again. Welcome, Lindsey.
Thanks. I'm glad to be back.
So, Lindsey, one thing everyone always says about you, fans and cast members alike, you are gorgeous. You are a beautiful woman and you have beautiful hair.
Yeah.
And girl, your nails. I always love your nails too. Show off the nails, show off the pretty nails. And the living room. I love the ambiance, the curtains, the little centerpiece on the table behind you. Tell them what that is, okay?
It's coming together. Well, this is from Miley when she won that eighth grade maid. I posted a video about it on Instagram and stuff. Flowers
So
are so expensive. Oh my gosh. But
handcrafted by
yeah,
Miley.
she specifically wanted tulips and they're out of season. So the florist actually like handmade these for her. And so I have them up year round because they look so real. So it's so crazy.
No, there we go. I love the ambiance behind you and welcome back. And you know how these Love After Lockup, Life After Lockup, the episodes, they have titles. The individual episodes have titles. Well,
Right.
Lindsey, I think your whole season should have been titled Third Time is a Charm. Okay. Because the first time we saw you with Scott, and we're going to do a little self reflection time. Okay. So,
Oh,
first
Mary, do we
time,
have to?
yeah, we do. We do. I'm sorry, we do. Okay. So, first time as bunkies, because that's what we call people like me. Season
Mhm.
one, episode one, we're bunkies. Okay.
Okay.
So we were introduced to Lindsey when she was with Scott. Okay. How would you characterize that period of your life?
A hot mess. The hot mess express.
Hot Mess Express. Definitely Hot Mess Express. Okay. Then things happened between you and Scott, and you went back to jail.
Yeah.
Then there was the second stage of your life, Daonte. How would you characterize once you came out of jail and you hooked up with Daonte? How would you characterize that stage of your life?
Slowly uphill.
Okay. Why?
That was when I was really when I came out the second time, I was really motivated. I had a job within 3 days. I knew what I wanted. I was I wanted to be with my kid. I wanted to get a job. I wanted to do right. And so, but it took a bit to get my footing. It's very hard to adjust after being in prison for like an extended period of time to come out and try to like actively be a member of society. And I mean, right off the bat, it kind of kicked my ass. And then mix in the relationship problems I was having with Daonte pretty quick because we had a fantastic relationship when I was in prison. And then it seemed like absolutely everything changed when I came home and I didn't know how to handle life, much less Daonte being different than what I felt like he had been. So I got through it. I did get up the hill, but it was slow.
So you were slowly making yourself uphill. Did you feel like your relationship was hindering your uphill progress?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. So there was so much arguing. Like
Right.
me and Deontay had never argued. Like never. Like we argued like one time when I was in prison because he made a bad joke.
Mm.
Um, like we'd never had any like issues though. And then it seemed like every time we spoke, we were arguing. He was mad at me because and it seemed like he was picking me apart. It really did because when I would respond, he would say, "Well, you're being dry." And it's because like I'm busy, I'm trying to do a lot of things at once. And so I felt like even when I was responding, he was critiquing the way I was responding to him. And I wasn't giving him enough time and wasn't giving him enough energy. And it was hard. It was hard because I was trying to do all these other things and I felt like I was constantly trying to balance. life and Daonte.
Right. So
Like it
now,
didn't feel like they were the same thing. It didn't feel like Daonte was a part of my life. It felt like I was trying to balance two different things.
and also, do you think that the distance also had something to do with it? Because now we're going to move on to the third stage of your life. We have Blaine. And
I think
during this
distance.
time,
Yeah,
Blaine was physically there with you to kind of help you adjust as a friend, because he
yeah.
was there as a friend. Daonte was your relationship, and Deonte's distance wasn't helping the situation either. Do you
No, I
agree?
felt like Daonte when I felt like he was like he had become self-conscious because of the distance. I feel like if Daonte was there and I was seeing him every day, we wouldn't have been having those would not have been our issues. We may have developed other issues, but those we would not have had those same problems.
Right.
Like I said, like I tried to parole to his house. Like they turned me down. Virginia would not let me come to live there.
Right.
the
Right. Exactly.
the
Exactly.
no
Right.
somewhere in this house. But
Right.
yeah, so I did, what I felt like I could, but once we had gotten that no, I had to come up with another solution. And it felt like Daonte was always trying to force me to come up with the next solution instead of helping me come up with the solution, which was very aggravating. It was very confusing because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. Like I did not, I left prison without an address. Like I did not have an address. I had 72 hours to give him an address. I didn't have an address when I left prison. I had immediate release. I had no preparation at all. I was supposed to be in prison at least 3 more months. Shocked the shit out of me.
Right. Right. So you're like, what am I supposed to do? Then you have Blaine, who's your friend, who's there supporting you. And then now we have stage 3, Blaine. But there's bumps as we see this season. There's bumps along the road. It's not a smooth road with Blaine at all.
No.
So I would like to ask you, Lindsey, if there are 2 words that you would use to describe Blaine right off the top of your head, what would they be?
Funny and a procrastinator.
Okay.
A funny procrastinator.
If you were to ask Blaine to use 2 words to describe you, what would you think he would say?
Um, a pretty bitch.
Why do you think he would say that?
We've really been going through it. Like honestly, we have. And so Blaine is getting to see I mean, he's definitely seen this other side of me before, but never been targeted at him. Like he's never been the cause of me having these like really emotional, hard to deal with moments. And so for Blaine, he feels like I'm being too much. But for me, I'm feeling like if you were helping me more, I wouldn't be having these. So we're kind of blaming each other at this point. Like, honestly, he feels like I'm in the wrong. I feel like he's in the wrong.
And now, do you think Blaine is really a procrastinator or just being a man? Because you know how men could be. They're just like, okay, I'm just not going to deal with this, or I'll deal with it later. I'll do.
I mean, yeah, but that only works for so long.
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
honestly, like
Yeah.
I can't live out of boxes. I can't live. I don't want to live out of a suitcase. Like I don't want to do these things. And I don't understand why he would be okay with it. I don't understand why, if you haven't, like, at the end of the day, I like to look around and say, okay, I did this, I did this, I did this, I did this. I went to work, I cooked dinner, I got this cleaned, I changed. I accomplished these things today. When I'm looking at you and saying, what did you do today? And you can't give me an answer, you're being lazy. Like, give me an answer. Like, what did you do today?
I think, Lindsey, the solution to your problem maybe is giving him a detailed list every day of what you want him to do.
Done it.
You've
Listen,
done it.
I have done that. I have text. I will ask the same thing to be done for weeks. And then when I eventually do it, he'll wonder why I'm mad.
I'm going to have to talk with Blaine. I
Please
don't
have a
know.
talk with Blaine.
I'm going to have to talk with him. So one thing that many fans didn't understand, and they were on Blaine's side about this, they didn't understand why you were so upset about him taking a deal where he wouldn't go to jail. The legal fees would be less. And it's just house arrest. And they were like, but why is Lindsey so upset? So do you want to explain why you really nearly ripped his head off over this.
Okay, so the deal is a great deal. It's awesome. That's fantastic. I didn't know about it. You blindsided me. I don't like surprises. One, I'm not really great with good surprises. This is not a surprise that you want to hit somebody. You know, you bring home chocolates, you bring home flowers. You know, you bring home a sweet present. You don't bring home an ankle monitor. You don't bring home a puppy. You don't bring home a car. Like there's just certain things you don't bring home as a surprise. And it all boils down to the fact that I did not want to have to call my probation officer and say, hey, Blaine's on house arrest. I wanted to call and say, hey, you know, Blaine's talked to his attorney. He's going to go ahead and get him house arrest. He's going to get this bracelet on really quickly. Is everything okay? Am I still okay to live here? When I call my probation officer and I'm telling him things that have already happened, it makes him feel like I'm excluding him. It makes it feel like I'm not being honest with him. And it really puts me in an awkward position to make it, I mean, it makes it seem like I'm not being open, like I'm trying to hide it. Because now, like last night, I actively stayed in that house with him while he is technically in custody of MDOC without my probation officer's knowledge. It's just, it's not a look I wanted to it's not a good look. It's not what I want to have a relationship with my PO. It's no.
I get it. So
It
do
was
you
super
think
inconsiderate. Like that's why would you want to surprise it? And Blaine does this shit all the time, Mary. Okay, this isn't just like a one-time thing. This is all of the time he does these things. All the time. And every single time it's an argument. Every single time it's an issue. So stop doing it. Like stop.
do you think he's gotten it through his thick head that you don't like surprises?
No, because he's just done something else recently, which I can't even talk about, but it's just as bad. I kid you not. He doesn't get it.
Okay, but
It's like talking to a brick wall.
I have one silly question. If he was to surprise you with a ring, would you be happy?
That's different.
Okay,
Yes, I would
good.
be
I'm
happy.
just asking because you're like, I don't like surprises. I'm like, girl, okay. Anyway, so
Listen, he came on with an entirely different type of jewelry. Okay.
I don't even want to know. I don't want to know. It's
That ankle monitor, girl. It's, I mean, you came home with a bracelet around your ankle. You'll stay on
exactly
for
like
3 years. And I had no idea, like, his house arrest was vastly different than me.
yes,
I was
I
on
get it.
24 hours.
I get it.
But he didn't know any of that. Because he didn't give me opportunity to be there for it. I just wanted to be a part of it. And then to find out that not only did I not know, but other people did know.
Yeah, because there was
I'll
a
get mad
period
about
of
it all over
time.
again.
Actually, there was a period of time before you found out about it, right?
No, I mean, I got home that evening
And you
and
were like, yeah,
I mean, he wasn't going to be able to hide it. Like I found it in like 20 minutes. Like, you're not going to be able to hide it from me.
right.
Like,
Gosh.
I'm going to notice.
So are you guys trying to work on communication skills? Is he trying at all?
I think in this week's season finale, you're going to see just where our communication skills are.
Oh, Lord. Okay, I'm afraid. Okay, so we've also seen Miley Grace is at a very tough age.
I hate 13.
Yes, teenagers are tough. Okay, so have you found any other coping mechanism in dealing with your teenager besides
Yeah.
pulling your hair out of your head?
Yeah. Family therapy.
Okay, good. Because otherwise you're going to pull your hair out of your head and you're going to be bald. Because teenagers, I mean, my son is 18 and he still talks to me like I'm dumb.
Yeah, I've been an idiot since Molly turned 13.
Yeah, you will be an idiot for quite a while, Lindsay. I'm sorry. So, how has been the experience of blending the families?
It's going really well, actually.
Good.
Yeah, I will say that once, we all kind of got introduced to each other's families and each other's kids and things have kind of, gone to a, I mean, Molly, she really likes Blaine. Like she does.
Fantastic.
I mean, I think, she doesn't like much. So that's a win. She's at the age where she
That
doesn't like
tells you
anything right now.
something, right? That tells you something.
Yeah.
If she likes Blaine, that tells you something. So I want to know more about your job as an intake counselor because
Yeah.
I'm
So
so proud of you. Tell
I
me.
love my job. I really do. So I work at a rehab facility. I work 4 nights a week and then I work one day. I really like my job. I don't get to have a lot of interaction working overnights. I'm basically there for the ladies. It's like they wake up having a bad dream or they wake up and just need to talk for a little while or something. And several of them, once you're completely withdrawn and you're getting actively able to get your sleep schedule work. So they'll get up, start getting that routine of getting up at like 5 or 6 in the morning and coming and talking and stuff like that. And it's a constant reminder of where I could be. And, because you can't even for a second forget where you were because you'll end up going right back.
Exactly. Very true.
But I love it. I love working and not that I didn't love construction. This is a lot better of a job.
Nothing wrong with getting your hands dirty, but this is a lot better.
Yeah.
Have you spoken to TC lately? The fans
Yeah,
want to
actually his
know.
mom texted me like a few minutes ago. TC has gotten back into the rehab because I took him to rehab and he walked out within 24 hours and he went back to jail. And then he is back at rehab now. He's at a long-term rehab facility. And so I hear from him every occasionally. So all we can do is hope now. It's got to be
There you go.
it's got to be up to him.
Exactly. It's up to him. You just got to hope and we wish him the best. And another thing the fans really want to know about, because it's a classic scene, you and Tarabelle outside of that house with Scott. So they want to know how Tarabelle's doing.
Tarabelle is doing really well, actually. So she was an active addiction too. She's clean. She's got custody of her kids. She's like a manager over a factory. She makes like major money. She bought a house. Like she's doing really well for herself. We talk. We don't like really see each other. I saw her I don't know, maybe like 6 months ago. She had a death in the family. I went with her to that. But some people are better when you love them from a distance. We have decided that loving each other from a distance is the best way for us because some people, even when you're both clean, you get around each other and it becomes toxic really quickly. And we both have to be aware of each other's triggers.
And that's great that you guys realize that and you can have a healthy friendship from afar and you can love each
Yeah.
other from afar.
I'd rather have a healthy friendship from afar than a toxic friendship up close.
Exactly. Exactly. That is, Lindsey, I'm so proud of you that you realize that you need to set boundaries. You know what your boundaries are. What are the most important factors to you in maintaining your sobriety day to day?
It's the being aware. So I go to church every week because that's a big part of my recovery. Everybody's different. My recovery has a lot to do with church. I'm in group meetings and individualized therapy. I'm in either an individual or a therapy 8 times a month. So I constantly have someone there I have created safety nets for myself. I have created people who are going to see me on a weekly basis and they're going to catch me because you want to prepare for relapse. You want to prepare to not relapse and then prepare for it happens. And they are my safety net. There's these people that are going to see me. And we actually have like I have a relapse prevention plan, but I also have a plan for if it does happen. We have rehabs picked out. I will go for a short-term stay if it happens briefly, and then a long-term if something, if it goes sideways. So of course I don't want to go to rehab because it would totally mess up life. Obviously I can't work at a rehab facility if I'm, in and out of addiction. So
Right,
it's not
exactly.
something I ever want to go back into. Like
exactly.
you sitting here now, I literally cannot fathom myself ever using drugs again. Like I just can't. But people say that all the time. They're sober for 10, 15 years. And next thing you know, they take that one drink and they're right back where they were. So it's just, it's that being aware, being very aware of myself, my moral inventory, and my triggers. And my triggers are no sleep and stress.
And the last episode that we saw, I think you needed a nap. I think you needed to go to sleep.
The longest nap. Because when I got home, I think our last episode started like as I got home from work. and went and got Miley. And I was planning on coming home and going to sleep because I had work that next night. And Blaine had this plan, which that was super cute. Honestly, paintballing was so fun. I was bruised from head to toe, but it was so fun. Like, actually, you can
Girl,
see on my hand, like my hand was bleeding from being
you
shot with paintball.
actually like paintballing, girl.
It was so fun. It hurt. It hurt. I had like massive bruises on me. But by the time I had gotten home that night, like, because we were supposed to be home in time for me to get a couple hours of sleep before work, and we didn't, because I have to be back in at 11, and we were getting home right before 9. And I ended up having to call in work that night. Like, I was so tired, packed my stuff, went to my mom's, I called in work. I was done.
Yeah, I could tell you were having I need sleep meltdown. That was I'm exhausted. Leave me alone. I need sleep meltdown.
Yeah.
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 Are there any other misconceptions from this season that you feel like you would like to clear up right now?
It's just, I don't know. I feel like if people have this thought that because I lived with Blaine when I first came home, that I should not have any problem being the one to carry all the weight. But it's not that I was complaining about paying some bills. Like, it's not one or two bills, it's all of the bills. It's giving Blaine gas money to get back and forth. It is like legitimately paying for every aspect of our lives. And it's not okay. It's not fair because, okay, if I'm going to be the breadwinner, even temporarily, that's fine. That's what relationships are. It's give and take. But you need to be the one pulling the weight at home. When I come home, I don't need to unpack. Moving is such a stressful experience. I don't need to come home and unpack after I've been at work all day or all night. I don't need to spend my day doing that because I'm one of these type of people. I like to see what I have accomplished at the end of the day. And Blaine can't answer, what have you accomplished? Because you haven't done anything. I can't. And it's
Just
frustrating.
name
It's very
one thing,
frustrating.
Blaine. Name one thing, and Lindsey will be happy, right?
Yeah. Tell me one thing. Tell me, fix the door. I unpacked a box. I hung up my clothes. I washed the dishes, anything. But when you're looking at me and you cannot say one single thing that you have accomplished in a day, and I say that every single day, and you give me the same response, that same dead-eyed blank look, it's like, no, I'm pissed off because it's too much, just too much on one person. Relationships are supposed to be give and take. I can't be 100% at home and pulling the financial aspect of it. And I don't think it's fair that anybody expects me to. Because even when, like, yeah, I lived with Blaine when I first got home, but I had a job within 72 hours and I was actively at home. I was cooking, I was cleaning. I might have been paying bills the first month I lived there, but I was pulling my weight. So for people to say I should, be grateful and no, 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 I'm grateful if you do some dishes. That's what I'm grateful for. Also, everybody sees that my cats are fine. Yeah.
The
I saw a lot
kitties
of
are
people
fine.
were very concerned about my kitties because I did not have them in a carrier in the car. My cats do not like cat carriers. We do have them. They don't like them. It makes them very anxious. They get very upset. If they even see the cat carrier, they freak out. So we don't do cat carriers.
Kitties are fine.
Yeah, the babies are fine. They're
Kitties are
spoiled.
fine. Lindsey
What
just
is the other one?
wants Blaine to do one chore a day and she'll be happy.
Any chore. Which
Anything.
Blaine would do things like, okay, Blaine would he'd be like, well, I did the laundry. Blaine's version of doing laundry is washing his own clothes and then leaving them in the basket in the floor. Okay. I'm like, listen, it doesn't count as cleaning the house if you're only doing, one, your own things, and two, you're only doing enough to keep up with what you're about to use in the following day.
Like washing your clothes for the next day. That doesn't count, Blaine.
you
That
can't
doesn't
wash
count.
like you can't wash the clothes like your clothes because he actually, I kid you not, he actually separated our clothes and started washing his own clothes. He's not working. I am working. He started washing his own clothes and not washing mine because I was complaining about them not being like there. He just leave them in a basket in the floor, and I'd be like, "Oh, I wish you would, put them in the drawer, put them up, separate them." He's like, "Well, I'm just gonna start doing mine." He's like, "'Cause I can never find my clothes," and he's like, "I'm just gonna start doing mine." I was like, "So your response to me asking you to fold or hang up clothes is to only do your own?"
Oh, Blaine, don't worry.
So
I'll have a
fun.
talk with him. I'll have a
Totally should have
talk
to
with
talk with
him.
him
Don't worry.
about
So,
surprises and helping out around the house.
yes, definitely. Those two things on my list. So, Lindsay, what's in the 5-year plan for you?
I would like to have my college degree. And although I love my job, I love working at the rehab, it's not career, it's a job. I want to have my career. I want to know what I want to be when I grow up. I know
Are
that's
we taking
not something.
steps? Are we taking steps towards the college degree?
Yes, we are
Okay.
actively taking steps. I'm definitely working on it. I have long-term plans. Um, I want to own my own house. I want to have Miley a college savings account because I'm really far behind at this point.
College is very expensive. Take it.
It is. It is. Which I mean, I started her a savings account when she was like a baby from before, but when I went to prison, my mom used some of that money between what I gave her and that's how she kind of like they lived comfortably while I was gone.
Right.
So I've got to really restock that. And it's been, I don't know, it seems like this first year out has been so much catching up, and I have to constantly remind myself to not like it's not a race. I'm 30. I say that and I freak out because I thought I would have so many things accomplished by the time I turned 30, and the only thing I've really accomplished is getting out of prison. Like it's not. I've not been successful. I have not done what I said I was doing in life. I graduated high school. I got my associate's degree in 2 years. I worked 3 jobs myself through college, and then I started my senior year, and everything went to shit. And I put myself so far back, and I'm just have to constantly remind myself to take it one step at a time instead of trying to make these huge leaps.
Exactly. And don't be so hard on yourself. Like you said, you're 30. You're not an old lady like me. You have time. Don't worry, girl. So before we go, do you have a message for the fans?
Yeah, so I have so many fans saying, we want to see you back next season, or um, I want to see a reunion. I want this, I want that. Y'all have to get vocal. If you want to see a specific couple back, if y'all want to see Brittany and Marcelino back, you have to get vocal. Get on Love After Lockup. Get out there in the hashtag on tweets. Go comment on there on WeTV's post. Like you have to, you are the fans. The fans of the show are the people. Y'all are the ones that choose who's coming back, who's not coming back. It's up to y'all. But you have to be vocal. Don't be mad if your favorite couple gets puts off next season because you didn't go tell WeTV you want to see them back.
Open your mouths.
Closed mouth don't get fed.
Exactly.
Oh wait, let's do a southern one. Squeaky tire, squeaky wheel don't get oiled.
And there we go. Thank you so much, girl. It's always a pleasure talking to you.
Thanks, Mary.
And we'll see what happens on Friday with the season finale. I hope Blaine he doesn't get his head ripped off, because we know what can happen when Lindsay gets really, really mad. We've seen it before with Scott. That's all I have to say. Classic scene. Fuck you in the desk. That's all I have to say. So looking forward to the season finale. Love you, girl. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Don't forget to check out my Saturday night shenanigans, 9 p.m. Saturday, 9 p.m. East Coast time, 6 p.m. West Coast time. Don't know who I'm going to have on. So
never know.
Be there. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Lindsay. Bye.